Hello, I'm Elsie Anakwe. I'm a solicitor and a parenting coach. This is a follow-up video from my earlier one on parents and carers dealing with children who have low self-esteem. In this video, I'm going to be concentrating mainly on questions that parents and carers can ask and what parents and carers can do to try and help the children in their care who have low self-esteem. As we know, low self-esteem is a huge topic. It's also worth mentioning from the onset that dealing with children who have low self-esteem is not an easy task. I mean, having said that, it doesn't mean that as parents and carers that we're going to just ignore our children. Of course not. You know, where you have a child in your care that suffers from low self-esteem, it's for us to try and get to the bottom of the problem, if possible, and obviously try and work with them, and where you can't, engage the services of a professional who can help you try and tackle the problems. But the first step is obviously for you as a parent and carer to do your part with your child. So what should you be doing when you've realized that a child in your care has low self-esteem? I talked about speaking to the child, trying to find out the issues. So in doing so, what should you really be doing? What type of questions should you be asking? I think it's worth me mentioning that with children that have low self-esteem, they tend to think that they're worthless, things they say are meaningless. So in most cases, when you're trying to have a dialogue with them, be prepared that it might produce as little very little constructive dialogue. It might when you're asking questions, you might end up with the child just answering with yes or no. So you want to try and avoid that. You want to move away from it. So what I suggest you do is try using open-ended questions. Take, for instance, a child that says, I hate maths. I'm not good at it. I will never be good at it. How would you tackle that? You start off by perhaps ask. I mean, there are many questions, many ways, but these are just a few tips that I want to share with you. For instance, you could say, so what is it about maths that you find difficult? So they may say, oh, I don't know, I just hate maths, it's just something about maths. You say, is there any particular topic or topics in maths that you're finding difficult? So again, you're kind of opening up the question rather than saying, so you don't like maths. They will just say yes or no. So you need to obviously keep digging deeper, try widening the questions. Why open-ended questions as well? There are benefits of open-ended questions because it helps the child to think about the questions they're being asked rather than them just answering yes or no. It also helps with them being creative. It helps with independence. And again, it helps build confidence. So that's why, those are just a few reasons why one should use open-ended questions when you're trying to ask your child questions. So it's very important. Again, what can you do with a child that suffers from low self-esteem? How can you help them? Think about in terms of when you're having the dialogue with them, asking questions or just talking to them. Again, make it clear to them that you're there for them, that you're and listen. It's very important. It's a very good skill, to try and possess listening skills. It helps a lot with many things. Tell them that you're there for them. Like I said previously, they may feel that they're going to be ridiculed by them answering questions by the adult. Make it quite clear, no, you're there to listen, to try and help them. You're going to work with them. Again, listen to their body language. Very, very important. A lot of the times things are given away through body language. So pay attention to that as well whilst you're listening. So it's like a multitasking thing you're doing here. And again, find out, things that they like. You can start off when you're trying to have a conversation with them, focus on the things they like. For instance, if they like art, you can ask them to draw you a picture or do a painting. If they like cooking or baking, you can ask them, or reading, you can ask them, to read a book, and you can discuss the book that's been read. Again, you're slowly building their confidence. I'm just giving these examples depending on what it is the child is suffering from, or why they believe they're hopeless or useless at a particular thing. So you need to kind of concentrate on that. So like I said, okay, let me use the maths example again. So you can try and work out, deal with maths problems when you realize what they're having problems with, why. It may even have something to do with the teacher. Maybe they're not happy with the teacher, or maybe because they keep getting things wrong, the teacher keeps picking on them. Have a word with the teacher, explain to the teacher, the issues that the child has raised, and maybe, the teacher can try as well and work with the child. And the other thing, that's worth mentioning is, if you're going to offer solutions, make sure you follow it through. So there's no point making empty promises. For instance, if you say to the child, if you can afford it, do you think if, we got you a maths tutor, do you think, if you had extra maths tuition, it would help? If the child says yes, there's no point asking that question if you're not going to do it. So, the child have said yes, so you have to work on getting, a maths teacher, or ensuring that the child has extra maths tuition. So that, so many things that you can do with the child again. And again, when the child is talking to you, tell the child that, you're happy with their contribution. So when you're asking questions and they're answering, and you're happy with the answers you're getting, because obviously the dialogue or exchanges, it's flowing. So again, praise the child as well for their contributions. And also, what are you actually trying to achieve, by doing all these things? Not just obviously raising their level of confidence, but also to help them to assume responsibility, because a lot of the times children with low self-esteem shy away from responsibilities. They don't want to, sometimes as well, they don't want to be part of a group. So again, in building their confidence, you also be helping them to be part of a group, to be able to speak out in class, to possibly form good friendships as well when they're in school. And I think the other thing that's worth mentioning is using what's called descriptive praise when you're praising the child. So not just a case of well done, but you could say, oh, I loved the way you did not give up with that maths question that you did. You can also say to them, oh, you're a very kind person, and I could see that from the way you offered your last sweet to your friend. So, things like that. So I'm actually going to end. I don't want this to be too long, but like I said, we just, if you have a child that, suffers from low self-esteem, just persevere. Don't give up. I'm sure you're doing the right things. If it gets too much, do seek help from professionals. You can also speak if the child is in school, get the school involved, and I'm sure that you can all work together to tackle the problems. Thank you for watching, and again, please do subscribe, do share. You can follow us on Facebook, the Anna Kwe Way. You can also follow us on Twitter, the Anna Kwe Way. You can check out our website, www.annakwewaycoach.com. Thank you and bye.